as I stated earlier, this is a volunteer work. So any motivated, interested person to become a member of the provision committee, he should submit a resume or bio to see his skills, his experience, his work type, and also he should write statement to state why he wants to become a member and what can he provide to move the PI community forward and to make it the currency of the future.
There are two ways that I see this going. The first is to ask for volunteers and train those volunteers. However, it is possible that we get more volunteers than are needed. So we can create a test to screen the volunteers and sort them and then pick the top four performers on their knowledge or based on their knowledge of the Pi network, the vision of the core team, and the knowledge of the economic situation of their region and what needs to be done to advance the cause of the Pi community as an emerging cryptocurrency. The second way is to not to ask for volunteers, but to put out the test the same way we are sourcing for these videos to pick the top four performers or maybe 10 or two or one, whatever standard we are using to choose the numbers of people that will be representing each region and to pick the top performers to the tune of the numbers that we need and to have them represent their region. So they will be tested based on the same criteria I had mentioned earlier. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I tend to think you could follow it up in two ways. One is primarily to depend on the engagement that is generated by some of these users in the chat forums within the Pi app. I'm sure the moderators or the admins have observed certain people, contributing to the community at large, and maybe can recommend some of them to be part of these panels because they actually, are able to bring to light some of the concerns from the pioneers and the folks who are actually part of the network. Or in a sense understand the vision of the pi team communicated to the end users and take up the concerns of the end users and bring it up to the pi team. So I feel that is one particular way to identify folks who could possibly make it to the committee. That's one way. And another way is to actually invite applicants, just like how one would probably do it for a job. Identify the composition of the committee in terms of how many people from legal, how many people B2C experience, how many people with core blockchain experience, how many people with social media backing. Uh, uh, you would need some folks to promote also. So in that sense, you could even have a social media marketeering kind of membership open to the community, or that could be driven as a separate let's say division in itself in terms of promoting. It's totally up to the team in terms of how you decide what needs to be the composition of the committee. But one way to bring in some good people into the committee would be to actually invite the admins and the moderators to make certain nominations. But provided that you can trust your admins and moderators well enough that they would make the right choices. Another is to invite applications, publish the applications, invite applications, ask people to send across their CVs or whatever, with justification of why they think they'd be a good fitment. And I think you can definitely run logic with certain cutoff criteria to identify who from these teams would, make it through. Just like a formal job interview process could take it through. I did think about voting for once, but I think that would likely provide skewed results because of the demographic spread that might be in the community, so that could be a little dicey. So I think these are the two best ways: invite nominations from moderators and invite applications to apply directly based on published openings or talent pool required for the committee.
Any aspiring or prospective committee member may apply or be nominated by means of submission of a written application or nomination to the PI core team. The core team will be the one to assess the qualifications of applicants and nominees. The core team shall also prepare a short list of qualified applicants and nominees a month prior to the election. The pioneers and members of the community who have successfully completed the KYC requirement will be eligible to vote for the elections. The core team could also consider and ensure an inclusive representation of all regions. This could be done by allotting at least one committee member for each region, and this could be increased in proportion to the number of pioneers or members in each particular region.
A plan that I have thought about is having the members them present their educational background and experience in each field. Secondly, we would like um, a, a speech given speeches so that we can get a chance to vote for who should be able to do each position and why. Um, after
The committee members should be nominated in regards to their contribution towards the Pi network. It should also be merit-based in that the selection also consider it to all the regions that are there. The nomination should also be inclusive in that the selection is done internationally and make sure that it is not biased in that every region, be it whichever continent or whichever countries there, is represented as equally as the countries that are considered to be better in a better status than those in Africa, maybe, for example.
The section mentioned should be presented in the form of video on the understanding, plan, and electable methods of pi.
I think the members of provisional committee need to have great social qualities and talent to keep the community motivated and involved in the project. We want to build the cryptocurrency for day-to-day people, and I think we need many talents to do it possible. We are building a worldwide project for many different people, but in one unique world. We need to change the actual economic system to put the power to the people. I think at this moment we need to achieve that all community for people forgot the economic value of P and works to create a very strong network today to have really many profits and great value tomorrow. It's for that I think with our network, users, moderators, and core team, together we can achieve it and change our world.
Way as we do in India. So the best way is to contact all the pioneers and let them nominate good people whom they know. And also after that, it should be advertised and an election should be conducted online. Election can be done through online voting. So this is the best way to do. So that way the process can be democratic, and also the best person will be selected if there is a provision to give the complete profile of the person when he is conducting for the panel member.
There is a good way to vote. The final one is to set a website and invite pioneers to recommend and vote. All the participants must use their username.
A provisional committee member must be nominated by the PI core team and selected by the community through voting by members via the app. Nominees must present their credentials, and these credentials must be verified. And depending on how many members of the committee is needed, I believe it is best if the PI core team will also be a part of the provisional committee.
Committee members should be, first of all, there should be a form on the website so that everyone who want to apply go on the website. That will also help getting some good user base on the website, or good clicks and traffic on the website. And so first of all, there should be everyone should go on the website and submit the basic information and biodata CV, and then there should be a voting or referendum so that most of the core committee and moderators can or some senior members should vote them to elect them, right? Thank you.
For nominating and selecting the provisional committee members, the PI core team members or the core committee can think upon the geographical distribution of the pioneers in a particular country. If there are a lot of pioneers, then the weightage should be given to that particular country so that it can be geographically balanced, as well as to communicate properly thoroughly with the particular country's pioneers. So that is one of the criteria, and other things is maybe the academic qualification and experience of the particular provision committee members also can give the due weightage so that they can provide the relevant services to the particular community they belong to. Thank you.
Coming from a academic background myself, I'm a PhD student here in Oslo, Norway. I like the way that we have set up the whole university with that we have a committee already established. The first part for PI when establishing that committee is having a diverse group with different kind of people with different backgrounds and experience level. When this group are set, that group is the one that can nominate other people. But it is important that people can apply to be a member without being nominated. And in that case, people should be able to apply like they're applying for a job with the board membership that are doing the job of governance and are seeking to find the best person available. In this board or in this committee, it's also important to have a similar right to have a vote so that no people are more important in that case than other people.
Committee members should be first allowed to volunteer to their positions in their regions. In case there is only one applicant for a position, the volunteering person can get the position if his/her qualifications match to the needed qualities. In case there are more applicants, the committee could decide via voting. In case there are no applicants for a position, then there are two chances. Either someone can take over the missing position, or someone from another region can have a dual role. These positions are held for a defined period of time. In case a position holder quits due to any reason, he or she can, or if this is not done, a new application election can be made. Global committee members can be selected either by application or by election. It is not prohibited to be a regional and a global committee member at the same time.